Hello everyone, this is Srikanth Rajan from AR Pro Academy and welcome back to yet another interesting video. In our previous video, we looked at the kind of most important features that would be useful for a car which would be driven in city. If you missed that video, you can click on this link here to see that video. Today, we are going to discuss about the most important features that would be helpful if you are going to drive your car more off in highways. With highways in India improving day by day, the average speed on these highways have also started increasing. When we talk about speed, of course, one of the most important aspect that comes to our mind is our safety. So if you're going to buy a car which is to be driven more off in the highways, your most important priority would be to look at the safety features of the car. When we talk about safety features, they can be categorized into two types. One is active safety and other is passive safety. I won't go into a lot of technical things, but to understand it simple, the feature that helps us avoid accidents is called active safety features. Some common example for active safety features would be even simple thing like a headlight, because your headlight gives you enough visibility so that you can drive safely on highways. Similarly, even a wiper that gives you good visibility is also an active safety feature. So now let us discuss some of the most important safety features which you must have if you're going to drive your car more often the highways. The first one I would say is ABS and EBD. ABS stands for anti-lock braking system. Now what does it mean? We'll not go into technical details, but let us understand it simple. This feature just reduces the stopping distance during a hard braking. Let me repeat that. It reduces the stopping distance. What is stopping distance? That is, you're going on a highway and there is something that comes in front of you and you do a hard braking. The distance from the time you apply the brake to the car stopping is called stopping distance. I hope that's clear. The distance traveled by the car after you applied the brake till the car completely comes to a standstill, this is called the stopping distance. So having an ABS will reduce your stopping distance. That means it can act faster and help your car to stop faster in event of a hard braking situation. The best part is it reduces the stopping distance not only on dry surface but also on wet surfaces. I am sure many of you would have experienced this. When you drive on a highway, especially when the roads are wet, the roads get slippery, and if you do any hard braking, your car tends to skid and continue to move forward, which could be dangerous. This is where ABS comes into play and ensures your car stops the fastest compared to a non-ABS car. Now let's come to understand the second one, that is EBD. EBD stands for electronic brake force distribution. Now what does this do? When we apply a brake, the force of the braking is distributed to the four wheels based on the requirement. Now you would wonder, what do you mean by based on requirement? Let's understand this concept. Let's do a small activity to understand this. If you're sitting, immediately stand up for a while, of course. Great. Now widen your legs towards the side. Done. Great. Now ask somebody near you to try pushing your body from one side. What happens? When someone pushes you from this side, automatically the leg on the opposite side will try to exert force so that this is balanced. Otherwise you might fall. So in this situation, was the force applied by both your legs the same? Exactly. You applied more force on the leg which was opposite to the direction of the push, isn't it? This is exactly what an EBD does in a car. For example, if your car is taking a right turn, there are chances because of the load present inside the car, the entire load might shift to the left side of the wheel. So that is, when the car is taking a right turn, the load shifts to the left side wheels. So do you think all the wheels should get the same braking power? No, because the wheels on the left side have a heavier load that requires more braking power. So this distribution of braking force is done by EBD. I hope that's clear. Now you feel it's important? Of course, it's very important when you're going on a highway drive. This gives you a more balanced braking and hence keeps the car more in control. Now the next important point is traction control system. What does a traction control system do? You must have tried accelerating the car and suddenly releasing the clutch. What happens? You see the wheel spinning, right? Exactly. So the wheel starts spinning because it loses the traction. If you try doing this on a smooth surface, there are chances the slipping of wheels or the spinning of wheels is higher because there is no traction, or in simple words, probably you can say there is no grip between the tire and the surface. This can happen to you on highways as well. You suddenly move on to a patch of road which has an oil spill or some water spill. It can lead to your tires losing the traction or the grip between the tires and the road, because of which you might lose control of the car and your car would just go off track. This could lead to major accidents as well. Hence, traction control is something again very important when you're using the car more of in highways. The next important thing is ESP, which is called Electronic Stability Program. Let us understand what this does. Earlier we spoke about ABS. What does ABS do? During hard braking, it ensures that your vehicle does not slip forward, hence reducing your stopping distance. So ABS acts when it is a straight line movement, isn't it? So to make it simple, ABS reduces your slipping of wheels during a straight line braking, and ESP reduces sidewise skidding. So when does sidewise skidding happen? When something comes in front of you and you have to do a sudden zigzag turn, and that is when you have to avoid skidding sidewise. If the vehicle skids sidewise, you get off track, and that can even lead to major accidents. This could also happen when you do a sharp turn at higher speed. Probably at night you are at high speed and you don't see a curve, and that is when at high speeds the vehicle takes a turn and there are chances the vehicle just skids off to the side. And this is exactly where ESP, or your Electronic Stability Program, comes into play. This is also important as well in Indian roads, isn't it? That's exactly why I tell you, if you are going to buy a car for a highway use, look for all these features. You might have to spend a little more on your car, but then it is worthwhile when you have all these features, because you have complete peace of mind when all these active safety features is helping you to keep your car in control and you are always safe. With all these features in place, still accidents might take place. As per a recent survey, majority of the accidents do take place not because of your fault, maybe because of the other person's fault. So what do we do in this case? That is where passive safety comes into place. Let's understand passive safety. What did we tell about active safety earlier? Well, I told you that active safety is those features which will help you to avoid an accident. Passive safety is something that reduces the impact on your body after an accident. So with all these active safety features in your car, God forbid, if you meet with an accident, then it is the passive safety features that will actually help you to reduce the impact on your body, due to which the impact on your body is reduced in the event of an accident. Sounds important, right? Exactly. So what are those features? Let's try to understand. A simple feature like your seat belt that you wear when you drive is something very important, because when you wear a seat belt during an impact, what happens is the seat belt is holding you backwards towards the seat, and hence it reduces the impact on your body because it doesn't allow your body to go and hit the steering wheel. Similarly, the next important passive safety feature is an airbag. What does an airbag do? During an impact, the airbag just opens up completely so that again it can reduce the impact on your body during an accident. Isn't that helpful? Of course, today if you see, the government is also making laws, and soon we might have every car in India coming with an airbag. But this is of course that you should not avoid if you're going to buy a car for highway drive. So now that we have understood the most important aspect for a highway driving car, that is safety, let us look at some good to have features that would make your highway drive more pleasurable. So now let's look at some comfort features. If you drive a car more on highways, again one of the most important feature would be a cruise control. What does it do? When you have open highways, you could just set the speed on the car to 70, 80, 90, whatever it is. So set the speed as per your choice and take your legs off the accelerator and brakes. This gives you added comfort because nowadays we have a lot of expressways and 4-lane highways across India. And this feature is a must have if you're going to drive them regularly on highways. Since we spend a lot of hours on driving on highways, In that case, a seat massager is something that can add to your comfort, reducing the fatigue on your body during long highway drives. Also, another important feature which you should be actually looking at when you buy a car for highway drives is a longer wheelbase. What does a wheelbase mean? The distance from the front wheel center to the rear wheel center is called a wheelbase. Now, how does this affect a car? Higher the wheelbase, the car is more stable on highways. How are you stable? Let us do another exercise. Stand up again, quickly. Okay. Now, when you stand straight with your legs close to each other and somebody tries to push you, you tend to lose your grip faster, isn't it? Now, try another exercise. Widen your legs to the side, something like this, and now ask somebody to push from the side. You have better grip this time? Exactly, because the wheelbase between your legs, or I would say the space between your legs increased, that gave you more stability, and the same thing happens on a car as well. So longer the wheelbase, the stability is much better on highways. Not only that, having a longer wheelbase will give you more space inside the car. That means the passengers inside the car during the long drives feel more comfortable. Isn't that amazing? So by now, I am sure you got a very fair idea on what features are the most important to look at when you're buying a car for your highway drives. If you have any more questions, do put your questions as comments below this video and we will respond to you as soon as possible. Do check out our next video as well, because there we would cover some features which is common to both a city car as well as a highway car. So those would be one of the most important features that you need to look at, whether it's a city or a highway usage. So let's meet in the next video. Until then, this is Srikanth Rajan signing off. Goodbye.